This video is sponsored by Twitch. Watch me and other live streamers in the link in the description. I'm here to drop an in-depth look at how to play Caustic properly at a high level to be hyper aggressive, lock down kills, gain control of areas and increase your chance of winning fights. First, I'll be going over some clips and explaining how you can use the strategies I use to become a high-level Caustic player in Apex Legends. After, I'll drop plenty of quick-fire tips you're probably not aware of. Caustic has so much potential that so many people aren't putting to full use, and I've pretty much mained him for 2 seasons now, so I've got a lot to share about him that I haven't really seen in other guides. So I'm not covering the basics here, let's get that straight. So the first tip is absolutely crucial, is learning about better gas trap placement. There should never be a moment where you are not next to a gas trap. So first, let's look at how we can place our gas traps more effectively. Every time I want to peek a room or corner, I can throw a gas trap down first. The idea is to gain control of areas, stop players from pushing us and give us cover to play around. Players were right here in this room, but I want to check that box and push into that area, so I shoot the traps and that will give me 10 seconds of gas time to loot up. Before I enter, note how I pick up my old gas trap. As you get better with using the gas traps, you'll never want to be left in a situation where you don't have some gas traps available. I shoot this next gas trap so I can loot up the box safely without somebody pushing me. At this point, we attempt to get closer to the team on the other side of the sorting facility. Now, one great thing about Caustic is that there's no such thing as being out in the open. You can throw down a gas trap or two anywhere and use that as cover, and whenever you're in an open space, this is absolutely what you should be doing. As soon as we've checked the area for players, we can pick up the gas trap again and move on. Later, you'll see how this situation plays out when players are in the area. Okay, so here's an example of how we should be moving around the map when playing as Caustic. Every time I pick a corner, I throw a gas trap, and then when it's clear, I can pick it back up again. Placing a gas trap gives us cover, it allows us to escape if a player damages us too much, and if a player's right around the corner, we'll know about it. But don't forget to pick up your gas traps too, so that you can still have enough later to use. Okay, let's rewind back to see how this all works out when players are actually shooting at us. Notice here, as soon as I finish this fight, I pick up my gas traps so that I can instantly reuse them. Next, I drop down into the open to help my team engage, but like before, I place down a gas trap as we are out in the open. You can see here how it gives us cover. Okay, now pay attention to what happens next. As soon as the player here goes behind cover, I can push up on them, but as I'm moving, I place down another gas trap. The idea is simple. I want to be able to play around cover and my own gas, so I should never be in a moment where I'm not close enough to be clouded in my own gas, so placing gas traps as we move is important. I then hide behind cover and wait for my gas trap to fully expand, and when I peek, I target shooting the gas trap, not the player. This gives me the ability to re-peek at a player who has now been blinded and slowed. An easier shot for me, a harder shot for them. Essentially, Caustic is all about staying within range of your gas traps, then shooting them to deploy gas so that you can play around that area to your best potential. At all times, you should have gas traps nearby ready to shoot or pick up and replace to use to your advantage. I see so many people just throwing their gas traps down and trying to use it to get damage off on players, but it's all about area control. Always shoot your gas traps when you want to use them. We can then also use the gas traps to place down to safely loot a dead player. Whenever I take down an opponent, I almost always throw a gas trap on them so that the gas can explode out and I have somewhere to safely loot. Also, I'd say in about 80% of my fights, throwing down my ultimate on top of a player has always worked out well for me. It's a really powerful tool and it just messes players up so much. It's a great way to force a 1v1 right then and there because nobody is going to want to push inside it, and you'll see it again later in the video. So next we can see how beneficial it can be to not only place gas traps everywhere you go, but shoot them as players push you. In almost all cases, shooting your gas trap before you start an engagement will help you. Please, like I said, shoot your gas traps more because it will benefit you so much. The gas traps last for 10 seconds, which is enough to pop an entire Phoenix kit without a gold body shield. If you don't have any gas traps available, back out of the fight for a second. Remember, you aren't slowed by bullets, so you have more freedom to slide, hop and jump all over the place to get to the nearest cover. Usually it's better to do this and wait for gas traps to regenerate than it is to keep pushing a fight. For disengages, Wraith has her Q, Pathfinder has his grapple, Bangalore has smoke, Gibraltar has dome shield. So imagine playing those legends without those abilities and pushing into a fight. you're as vulnerable as they are without your gas traps with Caustic. So here you'll see once again how it can be useful to throw your ultimate on top of people to force 1v1s. In this situation you can see how it stuns them so much that they just lose the ability to fire back for so long because they're in the air. Once they have the ability to shoot us again, we slide deep into the gas and they lose vision of us. At this point they're still in the gas and we get just enough time of vision to spot them and shoot them through the gas. So here's another example of how powerful it can be to use gas traps in combat and prioritize activating them. So we throw our ultimate here. It's a great way to slow a group of players and win third parties, but it misses unfortunately. We try to re-engage, but the Wraith pushes us hard. But by shooting the gas trap, Wraith immediately backs off. We just stopped ourselves from being killed here. Then we can sit behind the gas trap and heal. We're literally right next to them, but they can't get to us. So we've got enough time. Once again, we use our gas trap here for creating some space. I'd say if we had placed the gas trap on top of the box, we probably could have won this fight. Also, quick note, players cannot punch you if they're in your gas, so use this to your advantage. So as a quick recap for what I've covered so far before we move on to more tips. 1. Always use your gas trap to peek corners and gain area control in buildings. If a place is clear, you can pick up the gas trap again and keep moving. 2. When fighting players, it's often beneficial to shoot the trap first, then focus the player. 3. You can shoot gas traps and hide behind them to get off quick heals. 4. Using the ultimate in close quarters situation is absolutely viable for creating 1v1s. So next is a quick trick you can use to get access to loot boxes in dangerous situations. First, shoot down a gas trap to provide cover, then place another gas trap a little in front of the loot and shoot that, and you can move between the gas traps to loot up safely. This works very effectively, as you can see in these clips here. You can also use this technique to lock down areas and rooms to loot up, heal, or just provide breathing room. Take this moment for example, players are fighting each other right outside, but I have plenty of freedom to just keep locking down the spot with a single gas trap to loot up and heal. Here's another quick tip, throw down a gas trap on a portal entrance before you go through, so that if a player then goes back through the other side to try and bamboozle you, they'll be hit by your gas. Or here's another tip from my 100 tips video that you must learn. Instead of placing traps right at the door entrance, you should place it a little further behind. The reason for this is quite simple. If the gas trap gets activated, you will not be able to get through the door. You may get stuck inside the building, but if you place it here, you can still get through. However, if an enemy player on the other side tries to get through, they'll get stuck and they won't be able to fit, and the gas trap will activate. This tip is super useful. Another tip, if you're being chased when you have low health, jump down and throw a gas ultimate on where you land. Players are very likely to chase you to thirst you. It works best in these zipline buildings, as you can see here. Once they're in the gas, they are pretty screwed honestly, and sometimes they're so thirsty for the kill that they'll try and push through the gas, and that never works well for them. Here's another tip, if you want to redeploy on top of a fight, throw down your gas ultimate just at the top of the jump tower and then land in the gas. Even if the gas doesn't hit any players, you have the chance to safely pull out your weapons and prepare for the fight. Finally, remember that you can place 6 traps down at once, but also store 3, so that's a total of 9. So if you have the chance to stockpile them, absolutely do it. So that's the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've learned a bunch of stuff. Thanks again to Twitch for sponsoring this video. Thank you to Twitch for sponsoring this video. If you didn't know already, Twitch is a platform that lets you watch your favorite content creators and pro gamers play live. You can become part of the community, take part in live events, chat with other viewers, and see everything happen in real time. It's an experience that really can't be rivaled by anything else. Right now, some of the popular games include Apex Legends, Fortnite, League of Legends, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. Twitch was built on gaming, but there are even live talk shows, podcasts, and real-life streams where people go and travel and stream anything they do live. It's an experience I've personally been involved in as a viewer for many years, and I definitely suggest giving it a try. On top of that, you can even come and watch me live too, playing Apex Legends. Twitch is a platform that provides content just like anything else, but it's the community aspect, the combination of the chat and the streamer that makes it special. You'll walk away feeling like you're a part of a community. For example, my own stream is pretty small, but we've built such a great community. You see the same names in the chat, everyone joins in and chats about Apex Legends, their own lives, constantly reminds me about how I've missed a helmet or a backpack. It's a great experience for sure. You can quickly find the top game streams to watch or search the platform for smaller, more interactive channels, and browsing through different categories is easy too. I'm personally a big fan of Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect plays a character, a man man who is a world champion gamer. His content is fueled with tons of action, hilarious moments, and it's all infused together with incredible overlays and the use of a green screen to create this really entertaining experience. Twitch also hosts a series of events called Twitch Rivals. These are some of the most intense live streamed events. For example, on January 30th, the Fortnite Pro-Am will give followers the chance to play along their favorite streamers live, or the NFL Super Bowl event where NFL players and Twitch streamers will compete live from the Super Bowl in Miami. Thanks again to Twitch for the opportunity. I'll put a link in the description and the pinned comment so that you can go check out Twitch for yourself.